Welcome. Just state your name for the record, the way you live, and you have 2 minutes.
Okay, hi, my name is
Speak as
Aloha.
loud as you possibly can because the acoustics aren't good.
Right, so my name is Aloha Kobe, and I'm also a member of Against Racism in Medicine at the Albert Medical School of Brown University. I'm also a fourth-year medical student, and I'm here today to stand in full support of community members calling to defund the Providence Police Department. I would like to use my time to share some data from our report on police violence. So there's extensive research on the harmful impacts of police violence on an individual's physical and mental health, particularly for Black communities and communities of color. These types of physical injuries sustained by police violence are similar to those experienced by victims of violent crimes like assault and homicide, including broken fractures, asphyxiation, and even permanent disability or death. Police violence also leads to an increased risk of chronic health conditions like obesity and diabetes. Psychological trauma in the aftermath of adverse police encounters is also widespread and manifests as conditions such as PTSD, anxiety, insomnia, and depression. It affects not only an individual, but entire families and communities. Evidence shows that Black individuals are more likely than white individuals to report stress associated with police encounters. These compounding forms of stress can make it extremely difficult for an individual to go through their daily life, negatively affecting job performance, ability to sustain employment, and everyday interactions with family and associates. Police brutality also disproportionately affects individuals with mental illness. The data on police-related fatalities shows that up to 50% of fatal police encounters may have involved individuals with some form of mental illness. People with untreated mental illness have 16 times greater risks of death after being stopped by police than the general public. Given these numbers, it's imperative that cities like Providence invest in crisis responders with specialized mental health training to intervene in situations of psychiatric emergency. Children are particularly vulnerable to adverse effects of police violence. Exposure to violence from school resource officers has been linked to denial of educational and social growth, which are important determinants of health and proper development. With police in schools, there's been an increase in arrests and criminal charges, funneling students into the criminal justice system at a young age. Students should have reliable access to trained mental health counselors, not police officers. Despite continued efforts to implement police reforms, including implicit bias training, community policing, and diversifying police forces, Black and brown communities continue to be violently assaulted or killed at the hands of police across the country, including in our city of Providence. There is significant evidence that points to the need for greater community investment to tackle the root causes of societal inequities. Thank you.
Thank you. Be well.